You know, lizards aren't necessarily just for springtime fishing. I think that's a popular misconception. You might want to check with Rob Vanderkoy on that subject. He won the Bassmaster Invitational at Lake Shasta. Oh, it's been a while back, but it was in the fall of the year. Put a whooping on all the big boys, throwing our new 13 Series Lizard. New and improved. You know, I really like the Lizard, and it's probably one of the best Carolina rigging baits of all. You know, in a Carolina rig lizard, there's absolutely no difference from Carolina rigging any other bait. But we're going to go through the rigging method here real quickly just so you can get a good look at it. Now, what I've selected here is a 4/0 Sugoi hook because I'm going to tex-pose this lizard. And again, that's a Texas rigging method that basically puts the hook point accessible more easily. You don't have to bring it out of any thick plastic in order to bring it into action. So we're going to run the hook point right through the old lizard's nose, and we're going to pull it down just about the same amount as the offset length on the hook. Just about that much, and pull it out right in the middle of the flat side or the bottom of the lizard. Now as we pull this up, we're going to turn the hook 180 degrees to the point that when we get through, the hook point is laying parallel to the lizard, and the whole thing's ready to get into business here. Now, when you're tex-posing the hook, now as an example, let's compare this to a normal Texas rig. A normal Texas rig, you'd pull the bait up and you'd stick it down on the hook. Now, boy, you're going to have a problem getting that hook out of that bait at a time like that because it is fully buried. I'm going to show you the difference. That's a normal Texas rig, but this Sugoi hook was specifically designed to be perfectly suited for tex-posing. And again, the way we're going to tex-pose this thing is I use my thumb because I always got to use a shortcut on this deal. I use my thumb and finger, and I hold the lizard at the end of the hook. That gives me the point at which I've got to send the hook straight through the body of the lizard. I'm going to stick it right through the middle, right out the top of the back, and that hook has gone through at about 180 degrees to the lizard. Now what this does is when you pull it forward, pull it down, now the thing is rigged with a hook point. I want to move it up here a little bit. We'll have to refocus. Now the hook point is laying parallel to the back of the lizard. Now if you're not fishing in any type of weedy cover or any particular heavy brush, it's really not necessary that you do anything else. This is your basic tex-posed. But if you're fishing in any type of cover, may be necessary. In fact, I suggest that you skin hook the point of the hook. In order to do that, it's real simple. We're going to push the bait upwards, and what we're doing is we're stretching the lizard. We're going to push it upward and then let it recoil back into position with just the tip of the hook under the surface. Buddy, that thing looks good enough to eat. Tex-posed Yamamoto lizard. Now, when you're Carolina rigging a lizard, you're going to use a different length leader. Some of it's personal preference, and some of it will be tuned in to the type of cover that you're fishing. If you're fishing, let's say you're fishing some weed beds that are 4 or 5 feet tall. They might be in 15 or 20 feet of water. In a situation like that, you'd want to use a leader long enough to allow your heavy weight to go down into the weeds while leaving the lizard dancing along right at the weed tops. 4-foot weeds, I'd use about a 5 or a 6-foot leader. So use the leader length that will best match the cover that you're fishing, and then put this thing to work like Rob Vanderkoy and win the big bucks.